Good morning, good morning, good morning. On that note, poverty does not mean you are useless. One day we will resist. Who will say the truth? Good morning. Please, when you come, share this video for me. My name is Lifestone GH. As always, a lot may know me, some may not. This morning, this video is streaming live on 3 platforms: Pan-African Voices on Facebook, Blacknificent Media on Facebook, and therefore Chronicles of Avram Moshe also on Facebook. This morning, I'm here to speak my mind, and for the sake of some audiences that give me the go-ahead to come and do this video, I like to speak not in a native language, but in English, because this message is actually going somewhere. And because of that, please forgive me. I'm here to speak English. I'm not speaking in any local dialect. Thank you for your understanding. And please, before I begin my programs, I normally used to say this. There are a lot of things happening on social media and TV today. GTV is on, Adon Sports Plus. A whole lot of things are happening, even on Facebook. Some people are beefing. They're saying all sort of things. Please, you have the right to join any of these platforms. If you come here and you think you don't like what I'm saying, please kindly leave the platform. I don't want any comments that will cause distraction, because I want to talk to sensible people to listen. So if you think you don't like this, you go away for people to enjoy the program. This morning, I'm here to address 3 main things. The first is the e-levy. The second is this kind of kinship beef that is happening in Ghana. And lastly, I will address the attitude of the youth. That is why I'm here this morning. You see, some of us wish to do more, but it is not easy being in the fire and also fanning the coal pot at the same time. If you understand what I'm saying. If you are in the fire and you are fanning the coal pot at the same time, it's not easy. It's life-threatening. That is why some of us choose to sometimes remain quiet, remain silent, and look at how things unfold. It's not like we are not fighting for a better country. We are doing it, but we choose to keep some silent. There are a lot of things happening since last week on social media, and we need to talk. So now, let's go straight to the e-levy. You see, when you have a leadership of a country who knows for a fact that 80% of their citizens are actually illiterate, okay? When you have a leadership of a country that knows that 80% of their citizens are illiterate, they will force you into doing anything stupid for you to accept it. Because why? They know you are illiterate, you cannot reason, you cannot think for yourselves. So at the end of the day, they keep you as slaves. Had that not been the case, this issue was e-levy would have not even popped up in Ghana. But because the leadership we know knows this, they know for a fact the majority of the citizens are illiterate, who do not understand what finances, who do not even understand the need to survive. So yes, they will impose everything onto the citizenry to accept it, whether it's good or it's bad, for their own personal benefit. What is e-levy? E-levy is the government trying to tell you that, look, we are suffering in the country. We need money. So therefore, we have to generate an avenue to get enough money to take care of the country. By this means, we want to tax the people. Taxing the people is not wrong. Look, no one is saying taxing is wrong. If you want to tax me, taxing citizens is never wrong. But how you tax the citizens and the kind of tax you take from your people can also make you be a thief or an armed robber, robbing your own people, not at a gunpoint, but in the name of leadership and in the name of not having sense to actually know the right direction. The government wants to tell me that we are in the 21st century. Countries have started advocating for a cashless communities. They want everything to go cashless because, look, when we look at the money that is even spent on printing the notes, the currency that we use is even very expensive. So we are looking for other mediums in which we can transact our monetary services without it being expensive. One of those things that have come to light today is something that we call the mobile money avenue. The government of Ghana is telling me that no, I have to tax you on this money because I do not have adequate funds to take care of the country. And people don't get this. People do not understand this. Let me explain what e-levy means in a simple term. This is what the government is telling you. And if you're a government worker and you are supporting the e-levy, I would say you are out of your mind, or maybe you don't you don't deserve what you have, or you don't deserve the position you currently hold. If you're any government worker, I see supporting e-levy, I think they are the most funniest and the most sad people. You see, I look at them and I feel pity for them. This is the reason. Government worker, upon receiving your salary, governments have already deducted every tax that is on the salary. So what you get in your bank account is your mean salary. After the government have done every deduction, the government pays you your mean salary. The money, your salary has already been taxed. Not one tax, not two. I look at the pay slips of Ghanaian workers. I just imagine the number of tax that they pay on their salary. After the government have done this, the mean salary that you have, in the old ages, we take this money, we put it in our pocket, so that when we go to town and we want to transact with the money, it becomes easier. But for the sake of technology and modernity, we have realized that putting the money even in your pocket is not safe to be roaming out with. So we realize mobile money is a good avenue for you to keep your money. The mobile money on your phone is simply one thing: your personal wallet. The wallet that you could have put in your pocket. The purse that you could have hold to put all your money inside. You don't want it to be physical so that you can protect it. So this time, you want it to be electronic. The government of Ghana is telling you that after I have deducted tax from your salary and given you the one I think is fit for you, the mean salary that you go to take, I also want to tax that money. And I'm taxing every bit of money that you are going to take from that money for consumption. People do not reason. People cannot think. So they support anything that is out there because of political ideologies, because of partisan politics, because of tribal politics. People cannot think and reason. So the government is now telling you that, look, I don't have money to take care of you. I don't have money to take care of the country. So after I have taxed your salary, the money that I'm giving to you, I have to tax it. Let me break it into details. Now, after the government is taxing my own personal pocket, the government is taxing the money in my pocket, in my wallet, okay? Because it is electronic. After the government have taxed this money on every transaction that I'm going to do. So let's take, for example, I enter a supermarket to shop, okay? I've already paid VAT on every item at the shop. That money is going straight to the government. There is already a VAT levy on every item you go to buy at the supermarket. That money automatically is going to the Ghana government. The Ghana government is now telling you the money that you are using to buy the things that I've already taxed, I also want to tax that money 1.75%. What kind of sensible leadership is this? People don't get this thing. The government is telling you that you are already paying VAT on the items that you are buying at the shop. But the money that you are using to pay for the item, I also have to tax this money, 1.75%. That is not taxation. That is robbery. That is theft. This is thievery. This is just the government telling you, I am robbing you at a gunpoint on a daylight robbery. And whether you like it or not, you must pay. And we have some people. There are some so-called educated people, both at home and in the diaspora. And I don't know what kind of brain is in their head. They do not think before they come out to talk. So you see an educated person sitting on a radio station as a panelist, supporting this nonsense of taxation. Doing this, how does the government want to tax my wallet? Should a government tax your personal wallet? Because first, the money would have been in my pocket. I say, oh, when I meet my mother, oh, Adwamansa, my salary about take 100 cedis. Oh, my uncle, oh, you need small money, take 150 cedis. This is what we do. But right now, the government is telling you that I want to tax that money that you are using. When you go to buy a vehicle, okay, let's say you are going to buy a vehicle. Let's look at the number of taxes that have been incurred on the vehicle right from the port before it landed in the country. Now, I want to buy this vehicle. Because of security reasons, I don't want to carry cash on me. I want to buy the vehicle electronically. The government is telling me that the tax on the vehicle is not enough. I now want to tax the money that you are using to buy the vehicle. How is this sensible? I mean, people, come on, let's reason. How is this sensible that the government is telling you that there is already tax on the item that you are going to buy? But the money that you are using to buy the item, I also want to tax that money. Why are the professors, the degree holders? I know they will come under that video. They will come under this video to talk, right? So I want them to come and explain to me, at which part of the world is this tax sensible for any person? Which part of this world would this taxation, this kind of taxation, be sensible? And already, the telcos are taking 1% of all the transactions that you are doing, okay? Is it 0.1%? On all the taxes. Out of that 0.1%, the government still have a share in it. You see, that is why I was talking about illiteracy at the beginning. Let me tell you this. When you go do a mobile money transaction of 100 cedis, okay, MTN takes 1 cedi out of it. That 1 cedi does not go to MTN alone. That 1 cedi is being distributed between MTN, the mobile money agent, and the government of Ghana. The government of Ghana has already got a share in that 1 cedi. The government of Ghana, after taking this part of the money, is saying, no, this is not enough for me. I now want to charge you 1.75%. In a typical sense, the government should just tell his workers that, look, the tax that I'm taking from you people is not enough. So at the end of the day, I still want to tax you 1.75% out of the salary that I'm giving to you. Not because it is mobile money, but because I need that money. Because I don't really know which aspect of the government mobile money affects. I don't know what the government puts into mobile money. I don't know. If the telcos belong to the government, is different. I don't know which effort the government puts into the telcos to demand me paying 1.75% out of my own pocket money. So this is not double taxation. This is not triple taxation. This is robbery. This is daylight robbery in the name of leadership. And why? Because the leadership has failed. Let me tell you the truth. No country can survive on taxation alone. No country can survive on taxation alone. Look, the government of Ghana is telling us that the tax that they are going to receive on this mobile money is going to generate about 7.5 million at the end of the year. This is what they are going to get. It's going to generate about 7.5 million at the end of the year. At the end of 2021, the Auditor's General Report proved that we have lost close to 12.8 million. We lost 12.8 million at the end of the 2021 Auditor's General Report. We lost 12.8 million. So if the government could not keep track of 12.8 million, what would 7.5 million do for this government? People are not thinking. People cannot reason. People are not using their brain because they are blinded by politics. And the most irony part of this is some of our people in the diaspora, some of our people in the diaspora who have even traveled and should be able to talk sense into our leadership, they will not. They will be there supporting this nonsense, this thievery, this fraud, this theft. Right? That's just like me walking around and a tax collector meeting me and say, hey, where's your wallet? You want to buy something for 100 cedis. I'm taking tax from the money before you buy the thing. The thing that you are buying, I've already put tax on it. You pay for tax of the item. Then you pay for tax on the money that you are using to buy the taxed item. Come on. How sensible is this? Look, we are not going to support this e-levy, even if it is 0.00%. Listen to this. I will not support this e-levy, even if it is reduced to 0.00%. The government cannot tax my personal wallet. That is wrong. That is wrong. Why should the government tax your mean salary again? And you are a government worker, you are a salary worker. Ask yourself, why should the government tax your mean salary again after all the taxes being reduced, being deducted from your main salary, your gross salary, and taxes have been taken from it over and over. That is why we call it mean salary. Now the government is telling you that I have to tax this mean salary. And there are some block-headed people. All they think about when they wake up is MPP, NDC. MPP, NDC. MPP, NDC. They cannot reason. They cannot think. That is why we have a bunch of old men sitting in parliament who cannot reason. They cannot even think. Now, let's come to the bright side of this. Let's go to another side of this e-levy nonsense. Since 2012, okay, the unemployment situation in Ghana has been worse. Worst of the worst, yes. When this mobile money issue started happening, a lot of youth got themselves employed. All they need to do is visit an uncle or a loved one. Uncle, can I get 1,000 cedis to start some business? They start Momo business. The profit is not much, but they still benefit from it. Right now, for the sake of the telcos not losing what they are doing, they have to reduce their 1% to 0.75% so that the government can add that 1.75%, meaning the agent doing the transaction is now going to short his profits for the government to gain. The agent doing the mobile money transaction is now going to lose some of his profit for the government to gain more. And this is going to make a lot of people unemployed. Because yes, if I'm a mobile money super agent and I have about 5 people working under me, and the transactions, because of this nonsense, a lot of people are going to go cash again instead of cashless. Yes, the cash system is going to happen again. Where are you? I want to buy your car. Where can I meet you to give you the money? Let's meet so that I can give you the money. There is no longer going to be a cashless society. We are going to deal with cash again. And this is going to collapse businesses. It's going to make a whole lot of people unemployed all over again. When you have a government that does not have the head to think, this is what happens. When you have a government that does not have the head to reason and to think, this is what happens. So this e-levy, no sensible youth should sit on social media talking about even reducing it. The e-levy is just thievery. It's just robbery. We will not accept this. This is as simple as that. I cannot allow you to tax the personal money in my pocket. This is you robbing me. Those in the diaspora, they should come and prove to us that this thing is happening in the United States, it's happening in Hamburg, it's happening in Cologne, it's happening in wherever you are. Come and prove to us that the money, after the government have taxed you, that you need to pay your utility bills and stuff on. If I'm going to pay my utility bill, the government is taxing that money if I have to transact it. You see, if I have to transact that money, maybe I have to send the utility bill through the electronically. If I have to send the utility bill electronically, the government is going to tax that utility bill, meaning I have to add up to get it. This is going to make the cost of living higher and higher. The government have not even thought about increasing your work salary. The government is thinking about how to make your standard of living high, 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 and high. And we have silent people. The media in Ghana. You see, Ghana, this is what I said from the beginning. Some of us, we are in the fire. So we cannot start fanning the coal pot again. We will go ablaze. We are in the fire already, so we cannot fan the coal pot. So sometimes even this that you are doing, you fear before you are doing it, because yes, attacks will come on you. But look, there is no way we are supporting this e-levy. Not today, not tomorrow. And the minority in parliament, look, I don't know why Ghanaians are still trusting that they have some kind of opposition leadership, opposition minority in parliament that can do something different to change Ghana for them. For so long, for about 60-something years now, you have been boxed up and down, you have been tricked all over again. The minority in parliament will sit in parliament claiming they are voting no to e-levy. The bill will be passed and you are going to pay that 1.75%. That is a useless minority. The majority, they are far more than useless. I accept it. But if you are going to depend on that minority to fight this fight for you, I'm telling you, it's already a lost battle, because the minority cannot do anything. Even the speaker, who has the right, who has the power to have stopped this nonsense, he can't. He's always going to health checkup in Dubai. The speaker is always going to Dubai for health checkup because of one e-levy, because of a single e-levy bill. This shows the incompetence of that parliament house. Some of us had hope that this very parliament would have been the best parliament we ever had in Ghana, not knowing it is the same bunch of old, primitive thinking people that we took there. Yes. The primitive ideology, that is what they are using there. You see parliamentarians, they are fighting. Look, they could arrange this fight from their house before coming. They know. They trick you. Don't expect the minority to fight this fight for you. It's you, the Ghanaian, that can fight your own fight. We are not accepting this levy. This is robbery. This is thievery. This is theft. This is trying to cheat your citizens because you are the leader and they don't have a say. That is e-levy. So if you are willing to actually start paying tax on the money that you have put in your pocket to spend, Baumia said it. You cannot use QR code to buy wache. So when you're using that QR code to buy your wache, then Baumia will be taxing that money that you are using to buy the wache. But already, you see the wache that you are going to buy, there is tax on the tomatoes used to prepare the stew. There is tax on the rice used to prepare the wache. There is tax on the beans. There is tax on the pepper. Even the bowl in which you are going to eat the wache that was bought was taxed. Now you are going to be taxed the money that you are using to buy the wache as well. If you think you are sensible enough that this thing makes more sense to you, I told you what, you and your family people. On that note, I want to go to my second discussion. And this is a very short one. I'm not going to speak much about this, but I just want to say something. I just want to say this. It's about this. You see, for so long, I've tried my best not to talk about this because I am someone who's always standing at the middle of this. So I don't want to talk much about this. But the reason why I post this picture is because I want to say something. Look, the leaders of our country must understand this, that I'm not going to mention any name. Like I said, what I'm saying is about this. Everybody knows what I mean is about this. What I want to say is about this. I'm not going to mention any name. I'm just going to speak my mind. Look, the leadership of Ghana, whether you are a king, you are a parliamentarian, you are a secretary, you are a church deacon, you are an elder, you are a secretary, you are whatsoever. So far as you occupy a leadership position, let's get this into our head. I just want to speak a little sense into our head. We are in the 21st century. We are not in the old age. Today, leadership is proven by leading your people into development and better standards of living. Leadership today is not about leading your people to war. Today, being a king in your community is not about leading your people to go and battle another tribe. Today, the best way to be a good leader, the best way to be a king is to lead your people through development and self-sufficiency. It's an advice. Like I said, I'm not backing anyone, nor am I hating anyone. I'm speaking wisdom. Kings today, in 21st century, you cannot lead your people to battle. You can't lead your people to any war, because today the wars that we are fighting is not about guns and missiles. The wars are about development. Who is more developed? This is the war. This is the battle today. So express your superiority by leading your people through the phase of development and self-sufficiency. Not, I am the king. I own this place. These people are under me. We won so and so war. We beat you people 6 times. We beat you people 5 times. These things are primitive. They are archaic. They are past and gone. Today, think about the welfare of your people. Think about the development of your people. You are not a king leading your people to war again. Now, if you are a king, lead your people through better development. Lead your people through better development. To superiority. Show your superiority by helping your people develop. Don't show us your superiority by what power you hold. The whole power is useless if the power does not benefit the development of your people. I'm not insulting anyone. I'm not supporting anyone. And I'm not hating anyone. I'm spitting wisdom. I said, in this 21st century, kings are no longer leading their people to war for people's head to be chopped off. This is past and gone. Today, be a king by leading your people through better development and self-sufficiency. I'm the king, I'm the king. Your people are suffering. Your people are looking after corpses. Your people are cleaning people's feces before they can eat. I'm a king, I'm a king. It does not prove anything. The superiority complex will not prove anything. Prove your superiority by making sure your people have better standards of living. I'm done. That can say something. Obanyanseni yebunebe yenkanasem. I'm done. Now, on that same note, let me go to my third topic. It's about the attitude of the youth and the leadership. I'm combining all. The attitude of our youth and leadership. I said something some months ago. I want to replay this. I want us to listen to this. I said something, and I still support this though. I said something. Let's listen to this.
I think it's time said the country recognizes say the youth are into this. One say make us a revolution here starting now. I'm so proud of the Ghanaian youth to the extent say youth be able fu or mama and be so no sorry ya no mo twin kontin ba na ase kan yo.
Mo hihye omo ho ne ade ade.
E wa che se no mo hihye omo ye hwe de esi wo Rwanda na asefo yi. Ye de compare Ghanaian youth no ye training no. I think say a time as well say ye parenting. Parents and Kasano almost feel proud of the children that they've brought up.
The elderly.
Yes.
Unfortunately, who say enemies.
Yeah, rebellious because say and they will be sorry no kase Ghana youth ni muade and a Ghana youth debut. Or some who say training na mo de man kola no omafa wo. Yemfa training na nkabana me nyesho se flash house eguso. Aya painted sa Ghana. Kabana we are destroying yama bebre. But training e didi yemu ama. Even the cry no say no, we suffer. Some of us we are shy people. And yet think also camera cry now can say beyond say in your mouth no cry yet think. Time na so say it must be done.
Thank you. I said this. I said a revolution of insult, okay, is far more better than the revolution done with guns, machetes, and sticks. The agony of the youth has become so high that they are expressing this agony. If the youth are expressing the agony through disrespecting their elders, the elders must accept this and change their attitude. Like I said, I'm always spitting wisdom. I'm not for anybody and I'm not against anybody. If the elderly, if the leadership thinks the attitude or the behavior of the youth currently is not in the right direction, then they should listen to what the youth is saying. 60-something years after independence, we are still begging. We are still pleading. Yes, some of us, we are like that. We come and we still beg you. Please, our water. Please, our education. Please, our women are suffering. Please, our children are suffering. We are still begging for 64 solid years now. Some people think they are tired of begging. But because of the training that we have as people who respect our cultures and our traditions, we still look at the innocent people that are going to suffer in case we want to make this violent. Yes. We are always looking at the innocent people that are going to suffer in case we want to make this violently. So if the youth, and I think, look, let me tell you this. I know a lot of people will not support what I'm going to say, but I don't care. I'll say it anyway. I think it is what is happening on social media that is actually giving the youth some comfort that there is hope for the future. That is why the youths of Ghana are as calm as they are. Captain Smart have said it, that we are not angry enough. No, it's not like we are not angry enough. It is because of what is happening on social media. It's making the youth think like, oh, they will listen. Change will happen. Change will come. That is why the youths have calmed down. I said, genocide is not far from Ghana. Coup d'etat is not far from Ghana. Revolution of battle, killing ourselves, is not far from Ghana. Uprising is not far from Ghana now. I said it is a little thing that is keeping the youth sanity to stay calm. So if you're a leader and you think the youths are being too much disrespectful, let's put away. You see, last time I was doing a video and I was talking about the dynamics of culture. that if you don't understand how culture is dynamic, you would never be able to develop your culture. It is time we stop this old culture of silence where the elderly is always right and the youth is always wrong. Because that is Ghana. That is our culture and we know it. Even when something happens in the family, when a meeting is called, they will tell you the elder is always right and the youth is always wrong. It is always the responsibility of the youth to apologize to an elder. We don't turn that thing around. So the elderly can kill you, they can torment you, they can insult you, they can do whatever they like to you. But you, the young child, you don't have the right to rebuttal. Because immediately you rebuttal, you become the wrong person. So our elders can insult the youth however they like, but the youth cannot bring it back on them. That will make the youth a disrespectful youth. I don't support insult. I was not trained that way. No. But this is my ideology. It's better for a person to insult me rather than take machete and butcher my head off. I said I'm speaking wisdom. If you understand what I'm saying, you know where I'm coming from. It is better for someone to insult me rather than taking machete or gun and ending my life. So, once the person is insulting me, I have to listen to whatever the person is saying. That is so insulting. Sometimes, our leaders must put away that their pompous leadership, whatever that they have wear, that cloth that is on them, that once we are leaders, you don't have the right. Once we are elders, you don't have the right to speak against us. They must put it aside and listen to the youth. They must listen to their youth. Their youths are crying. They are dying. They are in anger. They are in agony. The leaders, the elders, the so-called elders who think respect is above everything. That is our culture. Be respectful and die in anger. Be disrespectful and be tormented. Be disrespectful and be maltreated. Be disrespectful as a slave, because it was even taught in the Bible. Slaves, obey your human masters. Do it with a trembling heart, as if you were doing it for Christ. Slaves, obey your human masters. Do it with a trembling heart, as if you were doing it for Jesus. And it has been implanted into our brains that no matter how you are being molested, no matter how you are being maltreated, you cannot talk because you have only one duty: respect the elderly. If the elderly want respect, they should show respect. Because the same person who brought you that book said, respect is reciprocal. What we mean by reciprocal is simple. You give, then you take. So you give me, then you take from me. Respect is reciprocal. But if you want the respect to be one-way street, it's never going to work. We cannot have a leadership and elderly people who will not think about their people, who are not thinking about the welfare of their people. All they are thinking about is they themselves. And they expect us. Today I was watching a program. Someone was asking an advocate, if it is your father that people are insulting that way, will you like it? Me, if it's my father that people are insulting that way, the truth is, I won't like it. The fact of the matter is my father doing what the people are insulting him about? Think. No. People are insulting my father. I don't like it. The fact of the matter is this. Is my father really doing what the people are insulting him for? If yes, then yes, maybe my father deserved that insult. I said I'm speaking wisdom. I'm not for anybody and I'm not against anyone. I'm speaking wisdom. Because if the situation is becoming like, my father cares about me. My father wants me to have the best in life because I am my father's child. But my father has also gotten a position that is capable of extending that help that he's offering me to majority of people. My father is now occupying a position that is actually giving him the power to extend what he's doing for me for people like me. And my father said, no, I'll still do it to benefit my son alone. Meaning the charcoal seller's woman should fuck off. The charcoal seller's son should fuck off. The pure water seller's daughter should fuck off. It is my son alone. Then yes, maybe that charcoal seller's son has got the right to insult my father. Not because my father is not taking care of me, but because my father is now occupying a position that makes him a father to this person. Like I said, it is wisdom that we speak. It is wisdom that we speak. My father, if he's not in any position to take care of other people, and I'm there and someone starts insulting my father, yes, I'll fight the person. But once my father have accepted the tax that I have 8 children in my house, but now I'm accepting this position to be able to take care of 1,000 children, including my 8 children, then yes, it should be like that. But when my father is still taking the items from the 1,000 children and spending it on his 8 children, then yes, those 1,000 children might have every right to insult my dad. No, even if I'm happy with it or not. And that is the truth. That is the truth. The youth. It is true. The youth. It is true. Freedom fighters. Fix the country. Whatever that we are. Common sense family. Yes, it is true. We are suffering in the hands of failed leadership. But some ways are not also the way. We come with split sense. Your personal life has got nothing to do with the sense that I'm here to speak to you. So let's know how to address our issues so that it will be on point. So whoever thinks the children of today are not respecting, they are not doing that, we live by the example of our people. Last Thursday, on Nyansabuakwe's program, he said something. He said, a parent will not train his children by words, by advice, but by his actions. As a parent, you must train your children by action. We have been in Ghana when our elders, when our leadership has been throwing insults up and down on radio. Yes, the so-called sensible people that are trying to advise the youth today. I'm giving it to you. We're in Ghana when our leaders, they are throwing insults back and forth. Not political leaders alone, spiritual, religious leaders throwing insults back and forth. After that, these same people sit on that platform and they are advising the youth to be respectful. You see where we don't think? You see where the brain is not working? Our leaders must understand that we are not going to live according to the words they tell us. We are going to live according to how they lived. We are going to live by their actions, not by their words. So our leaders should have understood that insulting each other would actually make us also insult them back. Anyone who wants to advise the youth to refrain from the activities that they are currently doing on social media. Mind you, my stand is clear. I don't support insult, but we are living by the example of our elders. I can say something. Answer nebe ubanyanseni no ni adi kan wu openyu kwasia. What you say? Openyu kwasia wu fiansana. Yes. Before they give birth to a sensible child, they might have already given birth to an elderly fool in the house. Yes. So if you want the respect to be reciprocal, do what the person is saying. It's not about your personal life. It is about you incurring the position to actually take care of people. Our kings and our elders, they are called to service. They are not called to be served. Let me drink water. Okay. Our elders, when they are called, when they are being sworn in, they are sworn in to come and serve. They are not sworn in to be served. This is where black mentality does not work. All of a sudden, the person that we swore in to come and serve wants to be served. This is a failure. This is what we don't grasp. The person that we actually sworn in to come and serve, the person now is sworn in and the person wants to be served. It's happening everywhere. In our churches, the pastors are supposed to be the shepherds, taking care of the sheep. They are there to serve the sheep, making sure the sheep have eaten, the sheep are in their cages, the sheep are okay, the sheep are not sick. That is the duty of the shepherd. That is the duty of the servant. Now the pastor got there. The pastor wants the sheep to take care of him. So it has turned around. Now the sheep are taking care of the shepherd. And immediately the sheep start taking care of the shepherd, then yes, the system has collapsed. So our leaders, our elders, they swore in to come and serve, not to be served. So whilst you are there, know that you are the one serving your people, not your people serving you. And forget that kind of arrogancy. I am me, minister what, king what, chief what. Those things don't work in this century. No. It's enough. I've said much. Those who understand everything that I said, they would understand it. But I'll repeat this. I said in the 21st century, kings are no longer leading their people to war, to conquer lands, slaughter people, and take slaves. That is no longer happening. In this century that we are in, kings prove their superiority by leading their people through developmental stages and the self-sufficiency and the well-being of their people. That is how kings prove their superiority today. So if you are superior, prove it by developing your people, not by chanting old battles. I beat this person, we won this war, we did that, we did. It is past and gone. That was then. Today, we are talking about sky trade. We are talking about launching rockets. We are talking about science. We are talking about technology. We are talking about a lot of things. Today, it is no longer war again. If you want to be a superior king, lead your people through development. Sink it into your head. My name is Lifestone GH. This is Chronicles of Abraham Moshe. This video was also streaming on 2 other platforms, Pan-African Voices and Blacknificent Media. Thank you very much for being here. I'll be with you once again with another very good part of this broadcast. I thank everyone for watching me. Whether you liked it or not, it's my mind. And honestly, I'm not apologizing for anything I said. Thank you.
Asemi besini kwemwa miara. Asemi miara. Asemi besini kwemwa miara. Asemi besini kwemwa miara. Obrai besini kwemwa miara. Miara. Endo miara. Asemi besini kwemwa miara. Asemi miara. Asemi miara.
Ensio mankwa, ensio hunyo desani biara. Eni abodi nyina. Entina rade na aye Drilling Company Limited. Eton safre ankrankre enyumaku ahodo nyina. Oba rade na aye Drilling Company Limited. Yeye borehole drilling, water treatment, visibility studies. Yeye nhwehwemu ewo asase ne so ansa na yetunsuo de amaw. Yeye manual and electric pump installations, hydrofracture. Se rade na aye etunsuo mawa. Obetimi anom, obetimi adware, obetimi de bibia. Enti eton safre dansi enyumaku ahodo. Yeye real estate companies, hotels, and sorry, and will be biara or the insio edijuma. Aradi na ye borehole Drilling Company Limited. When we attract crying a one crime or Fanco barrier. Kumasi ewo odium bastop Freya wa Humatu Foisu 0245 636634 0247 171472. Aradi na ye borehole Drilling Company Limited. Yes, say insio mankwa.
Shrani po for wedding kwa onia bra back from 19